back. In this video I'm going to show you how to play the guitar solo from the classic Scorpions song, No One Like You. Now this is actually one of my favorite guitar solos of all time. It's just packed with so much emotion and feeling and a great pentatonic bass licks. You get to really dig in with this one. And oh, by the way, as you can see, I'm using my Flying V, which has 22 frets. You need a minimum of 22 frets to play this solo. And there's going to be some parts where you're going to get up into these upper registers here. And if you really want to make your life easier, you're going to grab a guitar with 24 frets if you have one. Like, I could have done that. You can see there's at least two behind me that I'm tickling right now that have 24, but I didn't want to make it easier on me. I wanted to show you that it can be done with 22. So with that, let's go ahead and jump on into it. All right, section 1 goes like this. Now here it is slowly, and then we'll dissect it together. Now with that first bend up at the 7th fret of the G string, you'll notice I hit it the note 12 times and I apply artificial or pinch harmonics. Now you don't want to try to get like screaming pinch harmonics. You want to try to find more of a sweeter pinch harmonic, if that makes sense. So experiment where you do the pinch harmonics on the strings, and you'll find what sounds like the sweet spot to you. And you can see that it looks like I'm basically starting the descend about halfway through picking those notes, but just go with what feels right. And then we go like this, followed by the final bend up at the 8th fret of the B string. And with that one, what you're going to do is you're going to bend up, hold it for just a little bit, and then apply the somewhat subtle vibrato, and then slide down. So here's the whole section 1 one more time. Section 2 goes like this. Let me slow that down for you. Now that first bend you can see is a pre-bend. Hopefully you know what that is, but I'll explain it anyway. So what you do is you bend up on the string before you hit the note. Okay, and in this case you're bending up 1.5 steps, which is the equivalent of 3 frets. So it's like bending from here to here. Okay, so you bend up, hit the note, and then bring it down. And notice where I've notated where we have some more artificial or pinch harmonics. And then the final bend at the 8th fret of the high E, that's one you're really going to dig into and kind of take your time going up. Here's this section one more time. Oh, and I do want to call out that oftentimes you'll see this transcribed and or played up here where you start with a 14th fret of the G string bend like this. And you can certainly play it there if you want, but I've noticed that when Matthias Jobs plays this live, he always plays it in that original position that I showed you, starting with the 10th fret of the B string. All right, let's move to the next section. Section 3 goes like this. Let me slow that down for you. Nice little descending pentatonic lick there. Now you'll notice that I have one note that's palm muted. That's that little 7th fret of the A string. And you can see that I've got it in brackets, which typically means it's a ghost note. With that one, it's very subtle. Okay, you don't want to really emphasize and play that note hard. You want to kind of hit it lightly while you're palm muting, so it just kind of barely sounds, if that makes sense. I mean, you can play it full out right if you want, but I'm just trying to get it as accurate to the original as possible for you. And then finally at the very end, we've got that 3rd fret of the A string bend. And with that one, you bend up, hold it for a little bit before you come down. Really dig in and feel that one. All right, here's this section one more time, regular and then slowly. All right, section 4 is where we start the little harmony part here, and here's the main part. It goes like this. Let me slow that down for you. Now there's two things I want to call out here. First of all, oftentimes you will see that first bend at the 20th fret of the B string replaced with the 19th fret of the high E bent up a half a step. But I consider that actually the harmony part, which we'll get to in a minute. And then finally at the very end, that 22nd fret bend, you're going to bend up and give it some vibrato and then slide down. That's where it's really helpful to have a 24 fret guitar, because unless you have a 22 fret guitar with nice upper fret access, this part can be a little bit difficult. Now with my V, I have decent upper fret access, but not the same as if I had, a scooped cutaway in the back here or something. So keep that in mind. 24 fret guitar will make this part easier. All right, now here's that harmony part. Goes like this. Let me slow that down for you. So you can see we start with the 19th fret of the high E string bend up a half a step, and that's oftentimes what you see people put in the last section that I showed you as part of the main part. But to me that doesn't make sense, because if you only have one guitar, you're not going to be playing this part right here. This is the harmony that goes on top. So for me it makes more sense to use that first note here in the harmony. So here it is one more time, slowly. All right, here's section 5, goes like this. Let me slow that down for you. Now you can see there's a lot of bending going on here. I think this part's pretty fun to play. Now one thing I want to call out is at the beginning, see how we do that slide up to the 17th? It's almost like a rake, right? You kind of rake across the G, B, and E strings at the 17th fret. One way you can do it, and oftentimes I'll do this myself, is I'll replace that first note, the 17th fret of the G, with the 19th fret of the G, like bending up quickly, like this. I just feel like that sounds better. I think Matthias Jobs is actually playing at the 17th fret at that point, but I think it sounds better when you do the bend up at the 19th, but that's just me. And then after that, at the end, when you've got that descending 20th fret bend on the B string, again, I tried to approximate the bend going down. Just feel it, okay? So here's this section one more time, normal speed and then slowly. Section 6 goes like this. Here it is slowly. Now one thing I want to call out here is that where I see that 19th fret of the B string, that little hammer on and pull off, when I slow down the original, it seems to be a little bit quicker than the other hammer-ons and pull-offs where we're doing 17, 20, 17. That part just seems to be a little bit quicker for whatever reason. But once you get up to normal speed, I wouldn't even try to do that because it's going by so quickly. Another thing I want to call out is that oftentimes, instead of playing it this way, people will just do the 17, 20, 17 on the B and then 19th of the G, right? I've got it captured right here. They'll just repeat that multiple times instead of doing it the way I do it. And to be honest, if you did it that way, I don't think most people would notice, but this is the way that I hear it when I slow it down. And I've seen it tab this way. And again, I've said it a million times. We know tabs aren't always right, but I have seen it done this way quite a few times. And it's the way that I hear it too when I slow down the original. Here it is one more time at normal and then slow speed. And then finally section 7 goes like this, normal speed and then slow speed. Now that final bend at the 15th fret of the A string, what you do is once you hit that note initially, you hold it for just a tiny bit, bend up hold it for a little bit, and then come down. It's one of those bends you're going to really dig into, okay? So here it is one more time at normal and then slow speed. Alright, that was my video showing you how to play the guitar solo from the classic Scorpion song, No One Like You. If you enjoyed it, I would appreciate a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below, and I will attempt to answer them as time allows. Until next time, rock on.